Welcome to the cozy yesteryear. Here, we believe that home is more than four walls. It's the echo of laughter, the soft rustle of linen curtains, the peace that lingers in well-loved corners. In today's video, we're exploring the lasting charm of warm neutral decor, subtle, soothing, and always in style. These aren't trends. They're timeless choices that continue to invite comfort and elegance, no matter the year. As we wander through living rooms, bedrooms, and even cozy little corners like a laundry nook or a hallway bench, you'll see how soft tones and natural textures can wrap a home in grace. So light a candle, settle in, and join us on this calm journey. And if our gentle world brings a bit of inspiration your way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the cozy yesteryear. There's something quietly powerful about a neutral space. It doesn't shout for attention, it whispers. It leaves room for memory, for meaning, for morning light to fall just right across a linen slipcover. In this video, we'll show you why warm neutrals, soft taupes, sandy creams, muted oatmeals, and gentle greys hold their charm year after year. Each tip is more than a design idea, it's a way of setting a mood, of creating rooms that feel lived in and loved. Whether you live in a cottage, a craftsman bungalow, or a small apartment tucked under a canopy of trees, these neutral touches will meet you where you are. Coming up, how to layer textures like a warm quilt, how antique wood brings depth to a hallway, and why even a laundry room can feel like a spa retreat. This isn't about decorating to impress. It's about creating a home that holds you close. One tip at a time, let's bring your space back to stillness. start with the canvas, the walls. In a cozy, timeless home, the color of your walls can set the entire mood, like the background chords of a familiar tune. Warm neutrals like antique white, soft mushroom, or faded almond wrap the room in quiet light. They absorb the sun gently in the morning and glow softly beneath lamplight at night. These colors feel less like paint and more like presence, subtle, soft, and grounding. You don't need bold colors to make a statement. Instead, think of walls as a whisper, a gentle invitation to slow down. Layering in painted wainscoting or beadboard in the same tone adds visual texture and that charming cottage appeal. In older homes, these touches feel especially comforting, like the room is wearing a well-loved sweater. For a bit of soul, leave one plaster wall imperfect, its slight waves catching the light. It's in these subtle choices that the magic happens, making your space feel lived in, never staged. The walls don't need to perform, they simply hold the warmth. The heart of any room often begins with the furniture, the places where we gather, rest, and read the day's quiet pages. Warm neutrals come alive in classic upholstery, linen in biscuit tones, cotton duck in soft oatmeal, or velvet in worn taupe. These fabrics feel timeless, because they are. A well-worn slip-covered sofa, a spindle-back chair with a cushion faded just so, these aren't just pieces, they're memories waiting to happen. Look for silhouettes that nod to history, English roll arms, turned legs, or a tufted back softened by time. A room doesn't need to match, it needs to feel collected. One vintage armchair with a sun-faded seat might say more than a showroom set ever could. The key is comfort over perfection. A creaky rocker by the window, a blanket folded just so over its arm, these pieces speak of real life, lovingly lived. And when paired with those warm, neutral hues, your furniture becomes more than practical. It becomes part of the story. Texture is where neutral decor truly shines. Without the distraction of bright colors, your eye lingers on how things feel: the chunky weave of a wool throw, the nubby linen of a pillow, the worn grain of reclaimed wood. These layers add depth, soul, and a sense of place. Picture a creamy chenille blanket draped over a basket chair, or a jute rug underfoot that softens each step with its natural fibers. In the bedroom, layers of cotton and flax in varying shades of ivory and stone invite you in like a cloud. A knit poof by the fireplace isn't just decor, it's a perch for grandkids or a spot for warming your feet after a long day. And the textures don't stop at soft goods. Think rough pottery beside smooth glazed ceramics, a matte lampshade on a burnished brass base. In warm neutral spaces, texture does the talking. It creates harmony and holds your gaze in the quiet moments. It's not about more, but about just right. There's a certain peace that comes from being surrounded by natural materials, especially wood. Warm wood tones like honey oak, walnut, and weathered pine make a room feel grounded. They speak of forests and hands that carved and sanded with care. In a neutral space, wood brings the warmth, whether it's a farmhouse dining table that bears the marks of 1,000 shared meals, or an old bench by the front door, scuffed by decades of boots. Wicker, too, adds its voice, a gentle texture that feels like summer even in the heart of winter. A cane-back chair in the corner, a lidded basket hiding laundry in the bath, these woven elements lend charm and softness. And don't be afraid of imperfection. In fact, the more lived in the piece, the more it contributes to that grounded elegance we seek. A chipped finish or a drawer that sticks slightly only adds to the story. Together, these worn and woven touches create a space that feels honest and truly yours. Lighting can change the soul of a room. In warm neutral homes, soft light is everything. Skip the overhead glare. Instead, bring in light with intention, lamps with linen shades, wall sconces that cast golden pools, and candlelight that flickers like memory itself. Place a lamp near your favorite reading chair, and suddenly that corner becomes a retreat. Hang a pendant over the kitchen table, and meals take on the glow of gratitude. Vintage-style bulbs in warm tones, nothing too white or clinical, mimic the golden hours of late afternoon. Even mirrors can help, reflecting that light gently around the room. In bathrooms, consider a wall sconce that flutters against a beaded board backdrop, or a small chandelier in a soft bronze finish. And never underestimate the magic of candlelight on a mantel or windowsill. It's not about brightness, it's about warmth, about mood, about slowing the pace just enough to breathe it all in. In a warm neutral kitchen, the charm lies not in high-gloss perfection but in lived-in comfort. Creamy cabinetry, butcher block counters, and open shelves lined with hand-thrown pottery or glass jars of dried herbs, all create a feeling that's both welcoming and grounded. The warmth of natural wood accents, perhaps a row of wooden pegs holding linen aprons or mugs, tells a quiet story. A warm white subway tile backsplash feels clean without being cold. And neutral doesn't mean plain, layer in personality with antique brass knobs, a check tea towel in muted brown, or a weathered farmhouse table that invites both baking and conversation. Even appliances can lean into the look. Matte finishes, soft grays, or retro-inspired shapes add function with flair. A bowl of pears on the counter, a pitcher filled with wildflowers. These are the flourishes that bring a neutral kitchen to life. Here, cooking becomes ritual, and even washing dishes can feel like an act of grace. A bedroom should feel like exhaling. In warm neutral tones, it becomes sanctuary. Start with layers, a quilt in soft flax, sheets in ivory or ecru, and a linen duvet the color of warm sand. Add a velvet lumbar pillow or a knit throw for depth. Wooden nightstands, perhaps mismatched but in harmony, ground the space beside brass or ceramic lamps. A muted rug underfoot softens your first steps each morning. Consider the headboard, a tufted panel in biscuit beige, or a carved vintage find painted in creamy white. Even artwork is gentle, botanical prints, a sepia-toned photograph, or a quiet painting of the sea. Curtains in gauzy cotton flutter in the breeze, filtering light into a golden hush. This isn't a space for performance, it's a place to rest, to restore, to dream. In these rooms, time stretches. You read a few extra pages. You watch shadows shift. You remember what it means to simply be. A bathroom dressed in warm neutrals becomes more than just functional, it becomes a retreat. Start with walls painted in soft stone or antique cream. Add beadboard or tongue-and groove paneling in a complementary tone for timeless texture. Fixtures in brushed brass or aged bronze offer a gentle contrast, their patina deepening with time. A pedestal sink, a vintage mirror, and a woven hamper all contribute to the layered calm. Bring in plush towels in shades of ivory and oatmeal, and place a wooden stool beside the tub, topped with a flickering candle or a stack of well-thumbed books. Storage, too, can add charm, open shelves lined with apothecary jars, a wicker basket tucked with soaps. Even a small space can feel expansive when filled with intentional softness. This is where you start and end your day, make it feel like a warm embrace. A bath drawn in a room like this isn't just cleansing. It's a return to quiet. Gathering spaces deserve a palette that lets people shine. In the dining room, warm neutrals set the scene for stories, for shared meals and laughter. A farmhouse table, worn and welcoming, forms the heart, surrounded by mixed wooden chairs in various tones of pine, maple, or walnut. Linen runners in soft beige or greige run the length, topped with earthenware plates and time-worn silverware. Light spills in from a paned window dressed in cotton shears, and above, a woven pendant or antique chandelier glows warmly. Walls might be painted a mellow almond or soft taupe, setting off frames that hold old family photos or botanical sketches. A glass front cabinet reveals stacks of ivory china, a silent nod to dinners past. This room doesn't ask for grandeur. It asks for presence, for moments held over warm bread and conversation. Here, neutral tones don't fade, they frame the memories, lovingly. Art and accessories are the punctuation marks of a cozy home. In a warm neutral palette, they don't scream, they suggest. A faded oil painting in a carved frame, a collection of white pictures on a shelf, a stack of old books tied in twine. These small moments speak volumes. Vintage mirrors reflect light and history. Handmade pottery in soft glaze sits beside a candle in beeswax or bayberry. Consider baskets hung on the wall, a hat collection on antique hooks, or a soft wool throw draped just so across an armchair. Each object tells a story, especially when chosen slowly over time. In warm neutral homes, there's room to breathe. Room for history. Room for beauty to settle in. You don't need to fill every corner, just the right ones. And let each piece add its voice to the symphony of calm. Warm neutral decor is more than a look, it's a feeling. A sense of being held, of arriving home to something that has always waited for you. As we close today's video, we hope you found inspiration in the textures, tones, and quiet rituals that make a house feel like home. Remember, beauty doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it whispers from the folds of a linen curtain or the patina of an old wooden chair. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What warm neutral pieces make your heart settle? And if you haven't already, do subscribe to the Cozy Yesteryear for more calm, nostalgic journeys into timeless living. Until next time, may your home be a soft place to land, filled with warmth, story, and soul.